Hi guys, a lot of people have been asking me what I've been packing to go on this Camino, walk, stroll, hike. So I thought I'd just do a little video to show what I'm putting in my backpack. Okay, so I've got everything spread out on the bed, and yes, it will all fit in a backpack, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. But I guess I'll just kind of go through everything that I got, right? So these things are roughly in order of where I'll be packing them in the backpack, and I'm sure I'll discover along the way. But first of all, I've got a 40-degree Mamo bag, and I also put in there's a very small sleeping liner pack. I'm hoping that I'll just be able to use that, but increases the weight a little bit to have a very small, it's very thin, like a t-shirt. So I'm hoping that that'll do me most of the time when I'm warm at night. The chosen shoes. Chosen shoes are La Sportiva Wildcats. Almost close. They are a trail running shoe. Very lightweight, very mesh. I did not get a waterproof shoe. I'm kind of opting on lightweight and cool. But the other shoe that I'm really excited about these things. What are they? Alukai? I cannot pronounce them. But these are very lightweight, loafer shoe, which I can sometimes wear around town. But what I like about these is you can even squish them down and use them even if you're just coming back from the shower, for example, from one of the hostels, or if you just couldn't be bothered putting them on. So that's something I'll put on towards the end of the day, or maybe if there's a day off. And also towards the bottom of the pack, I have a Osprey rain cover jacket. Something to put around my backpack when it starts pouring rain, and I'm sure it will once or twice. Also on the outside of the bag, I have two of these Clean Canteen 27 ounce. I love these bottles. Big fans of them. Why people sometimes ask, why didn't you get one of those fancy bladder systems? I tend to put too much water in the bladder system, and it always tastes like plastic. I don't like cleaning those bladders out. And every now and then I might want to put something else in them, be it some wine, orange juice, or who knows what. It also means I just don't over carry water, which I'm prone to. Another thing I've also got here, I don't know if I'm going to need this or not. This is really just a little bag to carry a little titanium spork. I'm not sure how much I'm going to use that, but a lot of people who go for the Camino always seem to take some type of utensils along, so let's see how we do with that. Okay, so next up I guess you could say the laundry department. One of the most interesting things I found, this is at REI, lots of rave reviews about this, is this is actually what's called the scrubber. And it's very lightweight. You can use it as a stuff sack, so it's not going to really incur too much extra weight in the bag. I'm pretty excited for this. It's hard to see on the camera, but inside there are little plastic nubs. What happens is you can put your dirty clothes in there and you seal up the bag once you fill that up with water and some laundry powder, and then you can roll the bag backwards and forwards, and it should wash clothes in about a minute and a half to 2 minutes. You then empty out the dirty water, fill it up with fresh water, and repeat that for a rinse cycle. A lot more convenient than sometimes fighting and looking for washing machines and laundromats, and it will do several socks and some pants and a shirt. So and when I'm not using it, it's going to be where I shove the dirty clothes to remind me how full my laundry is going to be to get done. I've also got a dryer bag, just a common one from a laundry. Again, this is weighs absolutely nothing. I heard this is a good idea if you frequently are sometimes using laundromats at locations that sometimes you share it with many other people, and it's a lot easier to just chuck all your clothes in a bag so they don't get all mixed up with other people. A lot more convenient. Another thing on the laundry front, this is also pretty neat, is a little Sea and Summit clothesline. I've heard it's always a premium trying to find places to dry clothes in hostels and along the way. So I can stretch this out to about 10 to 12 feet and create my own private clothesline, even against my bed or in my room. Possibly share that with others, so I don't have to get in line. Little pocket wash tabs. Don't know how these are going to work. I've never used these little tiny slivers of soap, There's about 50 of them in this tiny little pack. And if all else comes to else, I got some liquid soap I could also use if they don't work out for me. And finally, I've also got a large bath towel. Very pack light. It is a full-size one, so I won't get that out. I guess I could possibly shave off a few grams just by getting a slightly smaller one, but I like a towel that I can wrap around myself. Probably save others from see me exposing my too much on the way. Okay, so on to mostly the bathroom items. Shout out to Lindsay Cowie. She does a lot of YouTube posts on the Camino. She's done on lots of Caminos. Look up her videos. But one of her tips I'm following, she works at Lush, but to get a shampoo bar, that thing, I've been told, should last about 45 days as long as I dry it out. And she even advised, of course, to get the larger Lush tin to put it in. I got a very small micro pack towel there, which I can use to pat the soap down and use as a hand towel. In the main bathroom bag, I've got little tabs for shaving tabs. We've got Advil or Camino candy. Toothbrush. This is kind of both a combination soap, which probably duplicates the bar, but I can also use it as laundry powder as well. There might be a bit of redundancy of weight there. I've also got a single razor. Yes, I will not go bearded throughout the mess, and this is also probably excessive, but I'm not going to smell. I'm determined to try and use some antiperspirant as I go. We'll see if this lasts all 2 months. And half a size can of toothpaste. Other good tip for helping you sleep in the Camino is iPads in those noisier hostels, as well as I've got, oh gosh, there must be looks like 24 or so earplugs in there, and they're disposable ones. I'll probably go through a new set every few days just to be clean and hygienic. This is completely not needed, but I intend to put a little Australian flag and my favorite little koala with his sunglasses on. And yep, I'm going all out. This is excess weight. This is at least 1 ounce. But I realize I've got like 4 or 5 of these and another little flag. Maybe I'll give them to anyone who's particularly nice or seems intrigued, and any questions about why I've got them on my backpack on the way. Okay, so now we get to the second bathroom bag, or I guess more the fix it, it's broken, or I'm gonna break if I don't have it kind of stuff. So we've got 2 emergency rolls of duct tape. I actually ordered them online. They're tiny little rolls which can repair rips or possibly even be anti-blister material, I've heard. 2 wrapped up bags of TP. Can't be stuck without that, right? What else have we got? I got some sunscreen, and this is also an antiseptic soap just for cleaning my hands or something like that along the trail. This is the bag I'm going to put it in. Speaking of other bags, I've also got just a couple of Ziploc large, medium, and small bags, probably to put some of this stuff in and to keep some on the side, perhaps for food items that I might pick up on the way. Very small 0.3 ounce medical kit. And maybe I'm being zealous, but this tiny little pack I also got of blisters. I guess I'm just paranoid. And to finish out that story, I've also got this some foot blister kit as well. It's a Glide, that's more for preventative, I guess, than the Blister Medic, which is maintenance. And Body Glide, in case it's a little too much rubbing in uncomfortable areas, followed by, of course, some Carmex. Okay, probably the heaviest part of my pack, the clothes. I have one set of Prana long sleeve pants. Very comfortable, very stretchy, and they actually fit me. It's harder to find stuff sometimes in Prana or Lululemon which will fit me, being the Clydesdale that I am. I've also got 2 very lightweight North Face mountain shorts. I am so glad I discovered these shorts. They're so thin and light that they actually look pretty decent for me to wear. And this is probably definitely a luxury item, having this third set of shorts. They're very lightweight. They are also prana, in a very soft, breathable material. These are probably going to be what I could sleep with, but they could also do double duty as swimwear in case I actually go swimming anywhere. Now, on my shirts, I'm going to end with these final three, but I have a Marmo button-up long-sleeve shirt, just maybe on those cooler nights, as well as something to look half decent, perhaps if I walk out to a restaurant. Arc'teryx belt, which doesn't have any buttons. It's just kind of a cinch down in case I lose or gain weight. Hopefully lose. Now, very special story on these three shirts. They are 3 Lululemon shirts, and big shout out to Kim and the Lululemon crew at Bridgepoint in Portland. Kim was wonderful. She heard I was going hiking. I didn't even realize that Lululemon made menswear. And these shirts, especially made from merino wools, is 20%, and they've also got nylon to make them still stretchy, easy to work with. Very anti-stink, I guess you could say, but breathable. But the very special story is I really appreciate Kim and the staff at Lululemon. They actually gave me this shirt for free as long as I let them know how it's going to go on the Camino. So I'm very appreciative of that. Thanks, Lululemon. So this is a cool little discovery. Now, at first, it looks like a stuff sack. It is a somewhat larger stuff sack, very lightweight, like a stuff sack. But what I love about it is if you turn it around, it actually functions as a very little backpack. I did not see these at REI. I saw these online. Trust me, there is probably 1 ounce over it, over an equivalently large size stuff sack. You can actually wrap this up. It's hard to do with one hand, but you can see there's actually a little pocket built into the top, which disappears down into the bag. It can actually pack up into a size smaller than your fist. It's very lightweight. So I'm going to use this as a stuff sack inside my bag, but why I'm also excited is this can be a day bag for me as well when I don't feel like lugging my entire backpack around, as well as it can be my carry-on on the plane. So I can take just my carry-on items in there, and then later on it'll just turn into the stuff sack for me. Wonderful bag. I'm so glad I found that. Oh, the underlayers. So I've got 3 sets of ex officio underwear. Ironically, I wear this all the time anyway, but they're great, very breathable underwear, quick to dry, very comfortable. I have 3 darn tough, as recommended by a lot of people online, merino wool socks. And I've got 2 very thin liners, which can act as additionally for wicking, as well as they could act as a very lightweight set for the camping loafer shoes I've got if need be. I heard it's very good for preventing blisters. And finally, this may be an excessive item, but I've got some very short, thin merino wool socks, which could also fit with the loafers in case I just want to walk about town and not wear the hiking boots as much that day. Oh, now we get into all the nitnoid gadgets. So I've got a little plastic map pap, and you've already said I can put in the map of where I'm hiking. Yes, I'm also going electronic, but it's always good to know that this will always work regardless of batteries. One of the challenges I heard going from Lepi is sometimes the trail, to describe in French ways, will take you all through 3 sides of the square to prevent just doing the short track across the road. And sometimes it prefers to send you through the forest versus going to the local town, where you may want to go to an ATM or go get supplies or something to eat. So having a map is very useful. You don't always want to follow the trail 100%. An iPad mini, a cool little protective case for it. I wasn't really thinking of taking too many electronics along the way, but I weighed this. It's lighter than a single paperback book, and I cannot live without having a guidebook and reading about what's up ahead the next day and reading about the history of what I'm seeing. I think without it, I'd probably miss a lot of the adventures of what I'm going to see. And it also acts as a color GPS in a hurry. I'll probably have it turned off most of the time, but you can already now download Google Maps offline, and it can be a wonderful GPS as long as you've got the cellular option, which that does. This is my credencial del peregrino. This is my passport from the church. I've got it already protected in a plastic bag, which I'll have stamped along the way. Speaking of passports, yes, I'm wearing one of these silk bags, so when I go out and about, or if I leave my backpack somewhere, I'll be carrying that on my body, containing my main credit cards and extra bulk cash, as well as my passport. Other nitnoid things, the Camino shell to attach to my backpack. It's what's expected from all hikers on the Camino. I have a outdoor research hat. You know, what I like about this hat is it's very, very light compared to the other things. It packs up small, but it's got a nice wide brim. It's very light and very breathable. Perhaps if it's getting hotter. I have a small plastic case for my iPhone, all sorts of little beaners and things like that. And then we get into the electronics. So, I have a black diamond spot. I think that's the brand. That's the model. Headlamp. Hopefully I won't have to use it too much, but at least I'm covered. This is my tribute to photography. I have a small little bipod. It doesn't have too much weight, but I figured it's worth it. There's also a little USB. This can clip off, but a little USB remote. So when I put my iPhone in there, which is my camera, you can unclip this and you could tell the thing to take a picture. So selfies, right? My absolutely beloved V-Motor ZN earplugs. I love the heck out of these things. So this is what will be providing me music and entertainment on the hike and on the flight. A little baggie to put them in. And finally, for the electronics, I bought a European charger. I really like this one. It's the smallest one I could find, but it's an intelligent one which will charge 2.1 amp on both. So with a single outlet, I should be able to charge both my iPad and my phone, as well as this, I believe you pronounce it Anker brand, 10,000 milliamp battery. So that should definitely keep me going every day, or possibly 2 days, depending if I turn off equipment. I've got one lightning cable and one really neat cable, which lets me convert the other cable from lightning to USB, micro USB for that. My single jacket that I'm taking, it's a North Face. It's a very thin, lightweight fleece with a hoodie, so I can pull over my head and use it as a hat or a beanie, I guess, if it gets really cold. I really enjoy this jacket. It's been wonderful. And speaking of cool jackets, that gets to my rain gear. Probably one of the prizes of my collection is this full-size Arc'teryx. Very, very thin shell, very breathable. The combination of the North Face jacket as an underlayer with this should definitely keep me warm and dry through most parts of where I'm expecting to go, at least here in May timeframe through France. And as well as I've got the Arc'teryx Beta SL. I think they are rain pants, which have got a somewhat of a built-in gaiter as well. And then the final item, perhaps just to discuss also, is hiking poles. And I have not really hiked with hiking poles before. It seems to me a very European thing to do. Nevertheless, I've read a lot of articles online that they make life much easier, particularly in hilly terrain. So to me, I regard them somewhat akin to a handrail, both going up and down steeper slopes. It makes things a lot stable. A lot of people do not regard them as weight, of course, that you carry in the backpack. They actually may help you in some of these areas. Perhaps across flat areas where it's just never changing, they may become a bit of a burden, but I think it's kind of worth it. So this is my backpack, obviously a very important piece of equipment. Yeah, it is a Osprey brand, Atmos 50 AG. Now I've heard, and I've got to agree, you probably don't want anything more than 50 litres. If you've got more than 50 litres, you've got too much stuff. Yep, I've attached the Australian flag and my little koala with these sunglasses there. Pretty excited about this backpack. I think its main claim to fame is this suspension system. Really neat. It's hard to see perhaps on the video, but it's like a trampoline for your back. This mesh, very comfortable backpack. So not to forget some of the little trinkets I've got on the backpack. I've got a little light here. Oh, it's hard to turn on with one hand, but I've actually got two of them. One on both sides of the bag, maybe for safety, and a spare light. And I just can't get enough of those, so I'll have another one attached down here, which I can turn to red, or a strobe light for emergency. I can also stand it up on its own feet. There's wire wrapped around there. And finally, an unusual item, but I got this from the Container Store. It's a $10 storage bag, which, what did I pay? I think I paid $8 for it. I'm sure it will have a very short service life. It's just basically to protect the backpack in transit on the plane. Not all airlines give out plastic bags anymore for backpacks, and I don't want to get the straps caught or damaged, so this is pretty much just a protective bag. I'm going to wrap it up a little bit with tape, take out all the excess ends and whatnot, and that'll be its little protective bag. And this is not anything I'm taking. However, I did order this from Amazon, permethrin. It's a clothing spray, an insect repellent, which lasts quite a while. I sprayed some on my backpack with that, a little bit of my sleeping bag. Let it dry overnight. It will be quite a good for, probably about a few months or so. Help, don't know how many insects it's going to be, but it'll also potentially ward off bed bugs as well from my pack and things like that.